I initially filmed a whole video and then because of technical difficulties I have to shoot it again, so I'm not sure how this is gonna work, but we're gonna go for it. Hello all, welcome back. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a life update to fill in some of the things that have been going on over here, some of the things that have been consuming a ton of my time, and some of the things I'm excited for in the month ahead. It's actually really exciting. Like, I've been in one of those situations where I've been very busy, but they're all like really good things. Over the past like 6 months or so, I've actually been part of a production at my school. My interest in theater is something that I discovered about myself relatively recently. In the past, like in high school and stuff, like taking drama classes was just a complete like out of the question no-go. I was just not that person who wanted to be in front of people performing. But over the past little bit and over the last couple of years, I've realized that God has kind of brought me past that chapter of my life to a place where it was like, well, if I ever did get the opportunity to at least try to be involved with a play, like I would totally take it. So in my last year of university, when I realized there was an opportunity to be part of this Little Women production, I totally jumped on it. I auditioned, didn't get a part, completely reasonable considering that I have zero theater experience, but I did express interest in being part of crew. So when the opportunity came to be an assistant stage manager, I was like, cool, sure. No idea what that means, no idea what's involved, but I'm just an assistant, so that's fine, I'll learn. The fun part came a couple weeks later when, because of just like conflicts and things getting shuffled around, I found myself in the stage manager's position and was basically learning on the job. And so the past few months have just been like this crazy learning curve of trying to figure out what needs to be managed and what is involved in that job. And then a couple weeks ago we had our show week, so it was like a really packed week of like dress rehearsal, tech rehearsal, 5 shows. Just like reinforcement for me that like God doesn't only care about giant things that happen in our lives, but he also is fully aware of our like silly little dreams, and those are things that we can also give to him. I know that when I first found out about this play, that there was gonna be a play at the school that, you know, there was potential for me to be involved in my last year. I was like so anxious about it because I was excited. You know, when it's like that like FOMO anxiety, like you're excited about the opportunity, but you're scared to miss the opportunity. I went home and just like prayed about it. Lord, I'm so pumped about this opportunity, please don't let me miss it. And so looking back, it's really cool to see how he had a plan for that, and he gave me sort of my little dream come true in my last year of university. Maybe the closest I'll ever get to a real life High School Musical. On the writing front, stuff has also been happening. Everything kind of happened at the same time, of course, as it always does. I was anticipating having a super busy fall. Fall ended up being okay, and all the things I thought would stress me out ended up just amalgamating in kind of the January, February period. I had this play going on, and I was also in revisions for Heir of Light, my contribution to the Blood of Kings Legend series. It's one of those situations where you're either waiting or you're in crunch time, and so I have been in crunch time, but thankfully this past week I was able to submit on my deadline. Woohoo! So that is out of the way for a couple weeks, and I have some other writing stuff I can be doing until the next part of the process begins. In the meantime though, news, drumroll please, my cover reveal for Heir of Light is actually happening on April 10th, which is really exciting. It's been a really long time since I've had a cover reveal. Throwback to the days of the Heir of Ariad. We don't talk about that. Just kidding, yes we do, because we're open and authentic here on the channel. We acknowledge our failures, and we own them, and we love them. The Heir of Ariad, my book that I like self-published way back when I was in high school, was technically my first cover reveal. But I'm a lot more excited about this one just because I know that I've had a lot more eyes on the story, so I can feel a little more confident about it than I felt about that one. On the writing front right now, I think my biggest problem that I'm facing is an issue of not necessarily motivation, but like organization. I've mentioned that I am not an A-type and that I just discovered that about myself. That's all fine and good. What I'm realizing though is that whatever system got me through high school, university, just my life up to this point, I need to level it up in order to just survive and to be an adult and manage all the things I need to manage. I need to have a better system going on. Lists are my new best friend, which sounds super basic, I know, like what's the big deal? It's just a list, but it's not just a list, it's a lifesaver. Honestly, it makes such a huge difference for me, just between like going into a day with no list and going into a day with like a sticky note of a few bullet points that I want to get accomplished. It just makes my brain feel like it's clicked into place in a way that it's not otherwise. So trying to figure out like a routine and like a schedule for my time is kind of one of my next steps, just to make sure that I don't miss things and that everything gets done that needs to be done. I really aspire to like writers who have like this rigorous writing schedule for themselves where it's like this time of the day is my writing time and I preserve it and nothing gets in the way of that. I think that is so cool, and that is just not me, and never really has been me. Always my writing is just kind of this fluid thing that like fits into any pocket of time that I need it to fit into. I was actually just talking to a fellow writer, Bethany Mayer, who you may remember from my review of Robbing Centaurs and Other Bad Ideas. She's the very talented writer of the Scorch trilogy, which is like, honestly, just if I had to pick a series that is just the most purely fun, it would be that series. Like, after reading those first 2 books, I wanted to have children so that I could read those books to them. That was a rave. Back on track. I was talking to Bethany about her routine, and she was mentioning like spending mornings writing with her coffee, and that just sounded so amazing. And now I'm like extra inspired to try and figure out how I can work something like that into my current work schedule and life balance situation, instead of just saving it for like late at night or whenever I don't have other things going on. Again, things always get done, and so I'm never like worried about not getting my writing done, but I just kind of want it to be a more consistent routine. Speaking of Bethany, not only does April mark my birthday, and also the cover reveal of Heir of Light, it's also going to be a big month for Bethany Mayer, because the 3rd book in the Scorch trilogy, Dragonfire and Other Nonsense, is coming out on April 8th. The super fun thing is that Bethany and I have a few plans in the works to work together and kind of celebrate the release of Dragonfire, because again, this is a series that I really believe in. Not to mention that Bethany is just like hilarious. So I'm really excited to get to collab with her, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy what we come up with. Stay tuned on YouTube and on Instagram, and feel free to go and check out the Scorch trilogy by Bethany Mayer if you're interested. It's gonna be like a really big month for book stuff, and I am super pumped about it. There is always more that I could talk about, but I think that works for this little life update. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and as always, do not forget to spend some time in the clouds today.